Hi everyone, welcome to Topic 3, Lecture 3, Part 7. In this session we're going to look at challenges faced by minorities. Where we're going to start is cultural characteristics relevant to international leadership. So the things we need to think about is language and how language is portrayed. That's not just spoken language, that's also body language. We need to be aware of religion and what toes we might stand on there. The attitudes that actually come with the culture, and again if we go back to Hofstede, that will actually give us good cues as to what attitudes are possessed by which particular nationalities or cultural groups. How our society is organised. This is particularly important if we were dealing with Japanese cultures or Indian cultures where there's been a caste system, and even though they are not so strongly upheld these days, there are still issues about working with people of different caste and what education people have had. Now, by education, it could be how professional they are and how much they've come in contact with other people, what languages they've learned, what cultures they've learned, or just whether they've actually had enough education to realise that there are differences, and whether they've actually had any multicultural training or not. So there's a number of things that we need to be aware of when we're dealing with other cultures. So, when trying to work with culturally diverse organisations, there are several stages that organisations work through. Stage 1 is where you just meet the legal requirements that are set by your society, where diversity is actually seen as a problem. So you're aware of what diversity issues there are, but that's pretty much it. Stage 2 is where it's like a reactionary process, where we understand that there are barriers that minorities face, but it's a problem that we have to, and we still need to react to that problem. It's not, we haven't really shifted that far. Stage 3 is probably where a lot of businesses in New Zealand are at now, where diversity is seen as a competitive weapon, that in actual fact by remaining in touch with how society is shifting, then we don't need to have so much dramatic change within our organisations. We can particularly look at somewhere like the New Zealand Rugby Union, where it stayed very, very much the same for a long period of time, and now they've realised that in actual fact they need to become more culturally diverse within the organisation, else they will be left behind by society and become irrelevant. So there is an effort to recruit and retain minorities because they're seen to have value. Stage 4 is where diversity is actually a moral imperative. It's part of the values of the organisation, and that difference within the organisation is sought. There's top level commitment to valuing diversity, be that gender, age, ethnicity, belief, whatever the mix is, that you actually want to have an organisation that reflects the society in which you're in. And stage 5 is where diversity is so much a part of the culture that actually the diversity isn't something you see, that it's so normal to see people with different coloured skin speaking different languages, doing different things, that you've become completely immune to it. And I guess if you just think about walking around any multicultural centre anywhere else in the world and just seeing people from various religions, ethnicities, of different gender, of how they show themselves and dress in different ways, and just being completely blind to it. And that's a wonderful thing.